everyone, Meet Kevin here. I have an update for you on the EIDL. That's the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan, specifically the grant portion, and what happens if you applied multiple times. So here's the thing. When the form first came out, that application form, back on March 29th, a lot of us rushed to apply, but a lot of us were also confused. What should we do if we have multiple businesses? What if we have multiple LLCs or multiple S corporations, or we have a personal side hustle, we're an independent contractor, a 1099, we've got a small side hustle, whatever. What should we do? And basically, the only answer we had was, when in doubt, apply. Which, if you have no idea what I'm talking about and you just want your free $2,000 or $1,000, go to the link down below. It's the SBA official form. Just click on that, put your information in, and then just hang out and wait. Remember, you are your own employee. If you have a side hustle, a small business, or whatever, so count yourself as one. If your wife works with you, boom, that's two. I'll put some other videos in the links down below too to walk you through that. So what I did back on the 29th is I applied as an S corporation, and I applied as an S corporation with 2 employees, and then I applied as a personal, like an individual sole proprietorship with 1 employee as a side hustle. So I put these applications in, but then something interesting happened. A few days ago, I made a video saying that I was skipped for the EIDL. And the reason for that was I called the SBA and said, hey, it looks like other people are getting their credit run and other people are getting their distributions. I can't have my credit run because my credit is frozen. Am I getting skipped? And I talked to 2 reps, and both of them told me, you're skipped. In fact, the first rep I talked to said you should reapply. So what I did while I was on hold for the supervisor, I didn't even know yet he was gonna transfer me to supervisor, and while I was on the phone with him, and then while I was on hold, I ended up submitting a duplicate application for my personal side hustle. And then I ended up speaking with the second rep who said, no, do not reapply. It'll take even longer. You'll clog up the system. You need to wait for a loan officer to get in touch with you, which could take 2 or 3 weeks. And so then all of a sudden I'm like, great. Because the first guy said reapply, I now submitted a duplicate app for my personal side hustle one. I won't submit another one for the S Corp because this Level 2 representative said, don't reapply, but both of them said, yeah, you should unfreeze your credit, which I guess makes sense because if they're going to check your credit, you probably need to have your credit unfrozen. And so that's what I shared with you all a few days ago. Well, today is a little bit of a weird day because after I posted that video, I got to thinking to myself, all right, I've now applied 3 times. Should I expect anything? Should I unfreeze my credit? What should I do? And then I got to thinking, wait a minute, I just advertised to the world that my credit is unfrozen. This is probably the stupidest time to unfreeze my credit. Because if anybody has my social, it's like, ha ha ha, here's an idiot who literally just told us he unfroze his credit. So I decided not to unfreeze my credit. And remember, I've now applied 3 times. And my credit is frozen, which means my credit portfolio cannot be accessed by anybody. And all of a sudden, guess what happened with my applications? This morning I saw $2,000 show up in my business account. And look, don't get me wrong, but there have been some folks talking and posting comments in my public Discord chat, which you could totally join for free, link down below. And we've been talking about the stimulus, and some folks have been saying, hey, I actually got the grant without having my credit checked at all. And so this made me wonder if this is just sort of like something they do, but they don't actually really care if they end up checking your credit or not. And some people are getting skipped. I have no idea. I can really only report what's actually happening. And my credit has not been unlocked, and I just got the grant. But what about the fact that I applied multiple times? What happened to these multiple applications? Well, here's the thing. I saw $2,000 deposit into this account. So I got the $1,000 per employee, which is pretty much all but confirmed now. The SBA sent out an email, so it's straight from the SBA now. Yes, the EIDL grants are limited to $1,000 per employee. But I didn't get a phone call or email or anything to verify how many employees I have. And I'm certainly not saying lie, it's interesting. It's completely a self-certification, and they just automatically drop it in. And again, they didn't even check my credit. But what about this second application for the side hustle? Well, I actually did not see any deposit over here, even though these applications happened at the same time. Obviously, also no deposit for the duplicate application. My only guess for this, and this is speculative, but it's my guess as to what might be happening at the SBA, because this is another thing a lot of folks were asking me about in that Discord chat, link down below. A lot of folks were saying, well, Kevin, how are they going to run my personal credit if I put in my EIN for my S corporation, your employer identification number? Well, I looked at the application again because I screen recorded my application, and I noticed that, yeah, they ask for your EIN up front. But on the second page, before you go to submit, they also ask for the owner's social. So even if you submit under an S corporation or an LLC or some sort of other entity, they're still looking at your personal social, in my opinion, to make sure that the same individuals aren't getting multiple grants. So my guess is I probably won't end up seeing a grant over here. If I do, I'll update you. But my guess is they saw my social, they said, okay, Kevin, that's his social security number. He says on his business application, 2 employees. Cool, check. Maybe they go buy the bigger one because they may have seen, okay, here's Kevin's. He's got 1 over here for a side hustle, but that's the same Kevin. Sorry, dude, we'll just give you where you said you had the most employees, but that's it. Talk to us later. Boom, moving on. That's just a guess I have, but it seems to make sense. So I guess we'll see how this all evolves. Either way, if you want to join me in my private live streams, make sure to join me in the links down below. Use that 32% off coupon code. Folks, if you need a quote for life insurance, link down below. You want 2 free stocks with Webull, link down below. And we'll see you next time. Oh, and if you go for Webull, make sure you deposit at least $100. There seem to be different stock rewards if you deposit less than 100 or at least 100 or more.